If you've ever woken up at 2 or 3 in the morning for no clear reason, staring at the ceiling while your mind suddenly feels wide awake, you are not alone. Many adults over 60 experience this almost every night, and most assume it's simply part of aging. But what surprises many people is that your body may actually be sending stress signals while you sleep. Your brain and nervous system are designed to follow a rhythm. During the late evening and overnight hours, stress hormones are supposed to gradually quiet down so the body can enter repair mode. That's when your muscles recover, your brain organizes memories, your blood pressure stabilizes, your nervous system slows down. But modern habits often interfere with that process. Late-night snacking, too much screen exposure, irregular meal timing, dehydration, even certain evening foods. All of these can quietly disrupt the body's natural nighttime rhythm. And when that happens, the body may stay more alert than it should while you're trying to sleep. That's why so many people suddenly wake up in the middle of the night with a racing mind or restless feeling, even though they were exhausted just hours earlier. The good news is that researchers have discovered several natural foods and nutrients that may help support a calmer nighttime response. Not prescription medications, not heavy sedatives, simple things that many people already have access to. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 6 nighttime helpers that may support relaxation, calmer sleep patterns, and a more settled nervous system after 60. Some of these may surprise you because they don't look impressive at first glance. But sometimes the simplest habits create the biggest changes over time. Let's start with number 6, raw apple cider vinegar. Now, I know this one sounds unusual, but there's a reason many people swear by it before bed. Raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar contains natural compounds and beneficial bacteria that may help support digestion and blood sugar balance overnight. And blood sugar stability matters much more for sleep than most people realize. One common reason people wake up during the night is because blood sugar drops too quickly while sleeping. When that happens, the body responds by releasing stress hormones to compensate. That sudden internal alertness can wake you up almost instantly. I remember speaking with a 69-year-old woman named Diane, who kept waking up around 2:30 every morning, feeling restless and uncomfortable. She assumed it was simply aging. But after adjusting a few evening habits, including using a small amount of diluted apple cider vinegar before bed, she noticed her sleep became more consistent within a couple of weeks. Now, this doesn't mean apple cider vinegar is some miracle cure. But for some people, it may help support steadier overnight digestion and glucose balance. If someone wants to try it, the gentlest approach is usually 1 tablespoon mixed into a small amount of warm water about 20 to 30 minutes before bed. Warm water tends to feel easier on the stomach than cold water at night. And it's important not to overdo it. More is not better here. Especially after 60, moderation matters. Now let's move to number 5, magnesium glycinate. This may be one of the most talked about nighttime nutrients right now, and honestly, there's a reason for that. Magnesium plays a role in hundreds of processes throughout the body, including muscle relaxation and nervous system balance. The problem is that many older adults don't get enough magnesium consistently through diet alone. And when magnesium levels are low, the body may feel more tense and alert than necessary, especially at night. Some people notice muscle tightness, others experience restless sleep. Others describe a feeling of internal buzzing or racing thoughts before bed. I once spoke with a retired electrician named Martin, age 71, who said he felt exhausted every evening, but somehow still couldn't fully relax once he got into bed. After discussing his routine, he started using magnesium glycinate powder in warm water at night. Within days, he told me bedtime felt calmer and less mentally noisy. Again, not magic, just support for systems the body already uses naturally. The glycinate form is often preferred because it tends to be gentler on digestion than some other forms of magnesium. Many people mix a serving into warm water and sip it slowly, rather than drinking it quickly all at once. And consistency seems to matter more than intensity. Sometimes the body responds best to steady habits repeated nightly. Now before we continue, take a moment and tell me something in the comments. What time do you usually wake up during the night? Many people are surprised to discover how similar their patterns are to others their age. Now let's move to number 4, tart cherry concentrate. This is one of the most interesting sleep support foods researchers have studied in recent years. Tart cherries naturally contain compounds connected to relaxation and nighttime recovery. But what makes tart cherry especially interesting is its connection to inflammation and sleep quality. As we get older, low-level inflammation tends to become more common inside the body. And inflammation itself can interfere with deep restorative sleep. That's one reason some people wake up feeling tired, even after spending enough hours in bed. A 67-year-old former teacher named Leonard once told me he felt like his body never fully settled at night anymore. He wasn't necessarily awake for long periods, but his sleep felt light and broken. After adding tart cherry concentrate to his evening routine, he noticed he started waking up feeling more refreshed in the mornings. Researchers have also explored tart cherry because it naturally contains small amounts of melatonin-related compounds. And after 60, natural melatonin production often declines gradually. The important thing is choosing unsweetened tart cherry concentrate rather than sugary juice cocktails. A small amount diluted in water is usually enough. And yes, it tastes quite tart. But many people actually grow to enjoy that sharp flavor over time. Number 3 is something many people have heard about, but very few truly understand: ashwagandha. This traditional herb has been used for generations in different parts of the world to support stress balance and relaxation. And in recent years, researchers have become increasingly interested in how it may affect the body's stress response system. What makes ashwagandha unique is that it doesn't work like a typical sleep medication. It doesn't simply knock people out. Instead, it appears to help the body respond to stress in a calmer, more balanced way over time. That distinction matters, because many adults over 60 aren't necessarily struggling with sleep alone. They're struggling with a nervous system that stays too alert at night, even when the body feels tired. I remember a 68-year-old man named Harold who described it perfectly. He said, "My body wants sleep, but my mind acts like it's preparing for an emergency." That's exactly how many people experience nighttime stress patterns. After a few weeks of adding ashwagandha powder to warm milk in the evenings, Harold said he no longer felt that same internal tension before bed. He still woke up occasionally, but the restless feeling had decreased noticeably. Now, it's important to be realistic. No herb works instantly for everyone, and consistency matters far more than expecting dramatic overnight changes. But researchers continue studying ashwagandha because it appears to support the body's natural stress regulation systems rather than simply masking symptoms. Many people mix a small serving into warm water or milk about an hour before bed. Some describe the flavor as earthy or slightly bitter. Adding a little cinnamon often makes it easier to drink. And what's especially interesting is that some people report improvements not only in sleep, but also in daytime calmness and overall resilience to stress. That's important because nighttime rest and daytime stress are deeply connected. Now let's talk about number 2, raw honey. This one surprises many people because honey is usually discussed as a sweetener, not a nighttime support food. But small amounts of raw honey before bed may help support more stable overnight energy balance inside the body. During sleep, your brain still requires fuel, and when the body senses that energy reserves are running too low overnight, it may release stress hormones that wake you up suddenly. That's one reason some people wake up around 3 a.m., feeling alert for no obvious reason. A small amount of raw honey may help provide a steadier release of energy during the night. I spoke with a 70-year-old grandmother named Carol, who said she constantly woke up with a racing heartbeat around the same time every night. She started using a small spoonful of raw honey before bed after hearing about it from a friend. A couple of weeks later, she told me her sleep felt steadier, and she no longer woke up feeling panicked. Again, this isn't about huge quantities. Too much sugar before bed usually creates the opposite effect. The key is moderation, just a small amount. Raw honey is also different from heavily processed honey products because it still contains naturally occurring enzymes and plant compounds. Many people prefer taking it directly from the spoon, about 20 minutes before bedtime. And some even combine it with calming evening routines like herbal tea, reading, or gentle stretching. What's important is that the body responds well to consistency and calm signals before sleep. Bright screens, stress, heavy meals, and stimulation all push the body in the opposite direction. Now we've reached number 1. And honestly, this is the one that has surprised many sleep researchers the most in recent years. Glycine powder. Glycine is a simple amino acid the body already uses naturally. It plays a role in collagen production, nervous system function, and sleep regulation. But what makes glycine especially interesting is its relationship with body temperature and nighttime relaxation. For deep sleep to happen properly, the body naturally cools down slightly. That cooling process signals the brain that it's time for deeper rest. But stress and elevated nighttime alertness can interfere with that process. Researchers studying glycine noticed something fascinating. People taking glycine before bed often reported falling asleep faster, waking less frequently, and feeling more refreshed in the morning. One retired firefighter named Steven, age 69, described it as, "Finally feeling like my body remembered how to relax again." That's a powerful description, because many adults over 60 don't necessarily feel fully rested anymore, even after sleeping for several hours. The sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented, less restorative. Glycine appears to help support deeper relaxation without the heavy grogginess people often associate with sleep medications. Most people mix it into a small amount of water shortly before bedtime. And because it has a naturally mild, slightly sweet taste, many find it easier to take than other powders or supplements. But here's something very important I want to say before we finish. None of these are miracle solutions, and no single food or supplement can replace healthy sleep habits overall. The real goal is supporting the body's natural rhythm. That means consistent bedtime habits, lower evening stress, less stimulation at night, stable blood sugar, hydration, and calming routines that signal safety to the nervous system. The body wants to sleep. That's its natural state. But many modern habits constantly push the nervous system toward alertness instead of recovery. Sometimes small evening changes make a surprisingly large difference over time. Not overnight, not perfectly, but gradually. And honestly, that's how most meaningful health improvements happen after 60. Slowly, consistently, gently. So whether someone starts with magnesium, tart cherry, glycine, or simply improving evening routines, the important thing is giving the body more support instead of more stress. Rest matters, recovery matters, and peaceful sleep is not a luxury at any age. It's one of the foundations of long-term well-being. If any of these nighttime habits sounded familiar, share your experience in the comments. Many people watching are dealing with the exact same challenges and often learn just as much from each other as they do from the video itself. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourselves, and take care of your nights, because the quality of your sleep quietly shapes the quality of your days. Everything shared here is general educational information and not individual medical advice. Always speak with your own healthcare professional regarding personal concerns or changes to your routine.